Hey everybody, this is Mike Gerdes with the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. And this, of course, is yoga, the wonder dog. And, today I want to talk about eating frogs. Now, you would say, why would I want to eat a frog? Well, especially since I'm a vegan. Well, eating a frog has to do with something you really don't want to do. Now, I know I've got some things that ought to be done that I really don't want to do. And my guess is you probably have some things that really ought to be done that you really don't want to do. Those things that we don't want to do, those are called frogs. And it's said that if you eat a frog in the morning, the rest of your day is going to be good. Well, anyhow, there's a gentleman by the name of Aldous Huxley, who was an American philosopher and writer, who said that the most valuable result of all education is to learn to do the things that ought to be done when they should be done, whether you want to or not. I'm glad he's dead, otherwise I'd want to kill him. I mean, can you imagine actually having to do the things that should be done when they ought to be done, whether we want to or not? That almost seems un-American anymore, doesn't it? No, I digress. The point of what I'm suggesting here is that I'm going to challenge you to do something. I want you to make a list of the things that you know you ought to do, but you're putting off. You're waiting for those round tours. The truth is, you don't really want to do them. Make a list and pick one and resolve to do one this week. Just one this week. Now, maybe if you get in the habit of doing the things that you don't want to do, when they ought to be done, whether you want to or not, you'll learn to do one every day until you have a list that has nothing left on it of things that you don't want to do. Wouldn't that be great? So, I'm challenging you. One of the things that you'll find when you're uncomfortable doing something is that it actually means you're growing. Now, there's a reason why you're uncomfortable. And you could ask yourself, what is that? Is it because you feel you're going to be embarrassed? Well, generally, us being embarrassed is an ego trip. And, we really need to grow out of those. Or it might be the situation where you're afraid to do something because you're really not good at it. You really haven't done it much before. Well, if you're going to do something, especially when you're doing something for the first time, when you're learning something, we're going to make some quote-unquote mistakes. They're not really mistakes. They're just us learning how to do things the correct and proper way. So what is it? What is it that we're afraid of in doing these things that we call our frogs? It might be something you ask yourself. Because with each of these frogs, it may be a different fear that we're dealing with. It may be a different message that we picked up when we were young or we picked up from society. A lot of the fears that we have are not fears that we were born with, or not necessarily fears that we gain from our parents or friends. Some of these are race mind fears. That is to say, it taps into the human race, what the fears are of the human race. Like fears of cold seasons, flu seasons, like fears of growing old, like fears of dying, like fears of asking that girl out for a date. We all have fears. Now, can you imagine what it would be like if we lived without that fear? We lived without that ego attachment, and we actually did the things that we know we're called to do. Maybe we'd find out there really weren't any frogs at all. But until we do, make a list of your frogs and resolve to tackle one this week. I would be very interested to hear what happens. You can write me, you can call me, tell me what's going on. And to reach out to me, you can find my contact information on cslphilly.org. And that's a good place to go to our website and find out everything that we're doing with regards to classes, and also to connect with our Sunday morning live stream. It also shows you the live streams of every Sunday morning we've done for quite a few weeks now. And it also shows you other love notes that Dr. Maxine and I have put on the internet. We try to do these one each day, 6 days a week for you. And I hope you're enjoying it as much as we're enjoying giving them. Well, until I see you again, thank you for joining us, and go eat a frog. Bye-bye.